Hi, it's Ed Lester here for video 3 in this training series where I am helping you to become a genuine abundance expert. I've got something for you today which is 10 times more powerful than vision boards. It's a big claim, I know, and you've probably used a vision board before. If you have, great. If you haven't, something good to try. In combination, this is what I have for you. It's a free copy of my Dream Envelope. You may have heard of this. It's very, very powerful. There's a free download. When you finish watching this video today, you can go and download this for free underneath the video and get into it. You'll find that it produces amazing results for you. But it's very important you do listen to the video, so you do watch the video first. I've got something else to share with you. This here that you can probably see behind me, this is the model of transformation that I've put together over the last 30 years. And there's one secret that really underpins all of this, which I'm going to share with you. And I know you've probably read The Secret, watched The Secret. You've probably heard a million times about, let me reveal the big secret of personal transformation. This really is the secret, and I've figured this out the long way, the hard way. It's taken a long, long time, but I'm going to share it with you today. So don't go anywhere. I'm also going to tell you a story that I discovered. Or an anomaly, I should say, watching The Secret. If you've ever watched the great John Assaraf talking about vision boards in the movie The Secret, there was something for me that was always, I think it was to do with the editing of the movie. There was something that was never quite right, and I've figured it out, and I'm going to share that with you in just a moment. So at the end of the video, make sure you download this, and yeah, let me start by telling you something about transformation that you may or may not have thought about before. As I said, this is my model. We've got these 7 different steps, and we've got all of these bubbles, let me say, bubbles or pods, whatever you want to call them, that make up the transformation model. There's levels of change. Okay, this is the first thing I want to explain to you today. When you read a self-help book or a personal development book, or you listen to some audios, or you go on a training program, the most basic self-help books and the most basic change models all tend to be based around behaviours, okay, and what the things that you actually do. So for instance, if you wanted to stop smoking, you would probably find that the main methods or books or resources you'd be given are behavioural. In other words, things that will make you stop smoking, things that will tell you about how bad it is for your health, plastic cigarettes, patches, pills, those kind of things. Same with losing weight. We use diet books, and a lot of self-help books. They just tell you what to do. They give you a list of advice, 10 things you need to remember to do. When you go deeper, you go into the better self-help books, you start being told about things like beliefs, as in what you should believe, like the law of attraction. The law of attraction is a really powerful thing to believe in, and you must believe that you're capable, you must believe that you deserve, you must believe that you have the power inside of you, so that's more powerful than just telling you what to do. It's giving you a belief set and a belief mindset almost. When you go a bit deeper again into change and transformation, and then these are the really good self-help books or the really effective personal development gurus, you go to a deeper level of something like identity, who you actually are as a person. So think about the kind of person that you are. If you read a book like The Secret, watch the movie The Secret, if you read something that really resonates with you, it starts to touch you on an identity level. Okay, so going back to an example like quitting smoking, which is quite random, but it's an example you can think about. If you have a stop smoking method that allows you to become the person that you want to be, and it talks about how being a smoker was the person you were before, but in the future you can be a non-smoker and you can still truly be yourself. We start to work on that identity level. So if you could make The Secret work, but you could do it in a way where you could truly could be true and authentic to yourself, you could become a millionaire, you could manifest your Ferrari or your dream job or your dream lover or your dream health situation. If you can do that and be who you are truly as an authentic person, it's going to make it much, much easier to manifest. Okay, now spirituality is another big part of identity. So if you have a transformation method which takes account of who you are as a person and helps you to change on a level that's congruent with your identity and your spirituality and your beliefs and everything else, it's going to be very, very powerful. But there's something that is even more powerful. And that is the energy that underpins everything else. So, in other words, if you're going to work on just affirmations or using a vision board, etc., and you follow the rules of what to do, and you believe that it's something that can work for you, and it feels good to you, it feels like it's congruent with who you are as a person, then that's really, really powerful. But if you don't understand the energy that underpins that vision board, or that underpins the method that you're being taught, that can be problematic. When you get the energy right, when you understand what we've got here, the different energies that you're working with, manifestation becomes very, very, very straightforward, surprisingly so. And so, for instance, going back to the dream envelope, let me try and explain to you why this works so well. And everything you've learned about vision boards, everything you've learned about manifestation in the past, becomes 10 times more powerful when you introduce this format. So, going back to the movie The Secret itself, there's that wonderful scene, like I say, with the great John Assaraf, and he's talking about how he manifested his dream home. Hopefully you've seen it. If not, you should go back and watch it again and re-watch that scene, revisit what's going on, because I always knew there was something funny. He talks about how he put his vision board up and it had a photo of his dream home and all the other things he wanted to manifest, and every day he looked at the vision board and he got himself into the state of the person he was going to be. Okay, so you see what I'm talking about, identity. John Assaraf is very, very talented. He's one of the greats because he's always talking on that level of who, it resonated with who I was as a person. And when he was manifesting using the vision board, he was saying he was adopting the state of who he wanted to be, who he would be as a millionaire, as a successful, abundant person. So that's really, really effective. But he talks about how this vision board ended up being locked away in a box, shut away in a dusty old box for 5 years. And people kind of miss that, because I talk to a lot of people every day who've watched The Secret, and I say to them, if you've got your vision board, tell me, how do you use it? And people will say, well, I put my vision board up on the board and it's got a picture of the motor car that I want, and the home, and my family and children and joy and travel. And I look at it and I get into that frequency of, this is who I'm going to be when I manifest these things. And but people believe that they have to keep doing that again and again every day, and visualizing and getting into the right frequency every single day. And it's like a mindfulness thing, or a conscious living, conscious awareness thing, where you have to think about it consciously all the time. And my message to you today is that you don't have to do that, and in fact it can be a hindrance. I'll tell you why in a moment, but it can be a real hindrance, because you end up driving yourself mad having to make this thing happen. And like I say, when I ask people, they believe they have to look at this vision board every day until it becomes true, until it shows up. But what John Assaraf has said, and you've got to read between the lines, it's not, I don't want to misquote the guy, but you've got to read between the lines. What he seems to be saying to me is it was when he put this thing in a box and shut the box up and put the box away in the attic, that's when it really started to work. And that's why with the dream envelope that you've got free access to, and a lot of my clients tell me how ridiculous the results that they achieve very, very quickly. It's like a vision board, but what we do with the vision board is we seal it away in an envelope, and we put the envelope away and we forget about it. Okay, we forget about it. I'll tell you in a moment why this works so well, but first of all, let me just show you very, very quickly. I'm not someone who tells people what to do and doesn't do it themselves. This is like a dream envelope for me. I used to use actual envelopes, but now I use, this is full to the brim of stuff that I've locked away. Every so often I go in here and I pull one of these out. This is actually, it's all filled in. Goals, outcomes, how it's going to feel. Exactly what John Assaraf has talked about, but not so much visual, although I do use vision boards as well. But this stuff, I'll pull these out and I'll read them from maybe 6 months ago, a year ago, and it's absolutely spooky, some of the details that have manifested, and I haven't been consciously focusing on them. I've been letting my subconscious, to me, the creative, unlimited genius that we all have inside of us, I've been letting that part of me do the hard work and the heavy lifting. So this, just in summary, I know I've got something else to share with you and I haven't forgotten, I'll come back to it in a moment, but this, read the instructions, okay? Read the instructions, because a lot of people come back and they'll say, I've had this going for a week now, and I've went and I checked my dream envelope, and the things that I've written down, they're not showing up, they're not manifesting. And then other people say, oh, it's spooky. Things are really, we had one of the women on Facebook, in the Facebook group the other day, posted a photo of the Mercedes or whatever it is, really nice motor vehicle that she manifested in literally no time at all. So some people were getting to manifest the dreams and the goals they were putting into their dream envelope, some weren't. And what I've discovered over time is the people that weren't getting the results weren't reading the instructions. And so I had to send them back and say, go and read the instructions, do it again, and you'll be amazed how powerful this is going to be. When I say 10 times more powerful than vision boards, I'm probably underplaying it. This is the vision board probably times 1,000, no exaggeration. And so you will, whatever you put in this dream envelope and you hide away for a week or a month, whatever, it will manifest. It will start to show up. Hopefully it will show up completely. It depends how well you follow the instructions. If you follow the instructions the way I've taught this, and like I say, this has taken me 30 years to put this together and to really fine tune it. If you're serious about the law of attraction, if you're really serious and you're really serious about abundance, do this, okay? You'll be amazed. And I'm giving you this as a gift. Sometimes when you give people gifts, they don't use them. It's like when you buy someone a book and they don't read it. It's painful, and so I am aware I'm taking a risk here. I really want you to use this. I want you to get the results, and I want you to ripple this out into the world and start making big shifts and transformations for other people, maybe your friends, your family. If you happen to be a coach or a change agent of some kind, take this out into the world and make a difference for people with it. It's really, really powerful. The one other thing I want to share, so that you really understand why this works so well and why the John Assaraf story, actually reading between the lines, is so powerful. We have all of these different energies. These are the different stages that we go through on our journey towards abundance. And we have all these different energy bubbles that show up. It's not linear. It looks like it's quite a linear thing. It's not at all. It's quantum. It's like these energy pods, these frequencies show up like constellations. Okay, and I don't have time to go into that right now, but trust me, this is so powerful. It's not even funny. But what I was going to look for, there's one here in the rules of attraction, energy, personal power. There's an energy called trust. Now, when you're working with trust energy, it's very, 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 very powerful. And some people struggle with trust energy, especially if they've been hurt by others in the past, especially if they've had disappointments. People have let them down. People have, promised them things and that's not been delivered. So trust energy can get switched off. And when it's got switched off, it doesn't work properly. So it turns into something more like control. Now, when you have a vision board and every day you're looking at the vision board and you're trying to visualize and get the frequency, get the energy right, what ends up happening if you're not careful is you start trying to control things. And at the moment, mindfulness is really popular. I've watched all these things come and go, and mindfulness is wonderful. I'm a big fan. But just so you understand where I'm coming from, mindfulness, just like conscious living, just like meditation, can be very, very much in your awareness when you first start to practice and you first start to learn, just like a vision board. But actually, when you're out there in life, when you're at your crazy job, which is really stressful, and there's negative people around you, or if you've ever played sports, when you're actually out on the field of play, when you're in the arena, you can't be thinking consciously. It spoils everything. It tenses you up. It makes you, trying to be in control actually puts you out of control. I know a lot of great athletes that I've worked with, and when they first learn, these kinds of skills, it's very conscious. They do have to think about it. But you put them out on, the basketball court or the football field, they can't be thinking about this stuff. It has to be working on autopilot as a habit, as a subconscious mindset, and these energies, they are subconscious. It's really important to understand that. So when you let the vision board go, you put the instructions in there, you go through, like I say, with the dream envelope, there's a whole step-by-step process. When you put the process in place and you put the dream envelope or your goals, your dreams, and your future, when you put that into the dream envelope and you put it safely away under your pillow or in a box or wherever for a week, 2 weeks, whatever it happens to be, a year in some cases, your subconscious creates trust energy. And within that trust energy, things start to show up. Trust energy, I can tell you, is a much, much more powerful energy than control energy. A lot of things that we get taught in personal development, in manifestation and law of attraction, a lot of things you'll be taught lead people falsely, actually. You know, I'm not saying anyone's making false promises here, but they lead people falsely to expect to be able to control the results, to control the process. What I'm trying to teach you here is that trust and letting go actually is often the magic catalyst. And I hope you'll play with this. I hope you will now go, now you've watched the video, I hope you will now go and download this. It's free. I'm giving it to you as a gift just for the next few days. Don't let this go. You come back here in a week or two, this will be gone. Okay? And it's really important. I'm telling you that because I'm taking a risk that you won't use it, and I need you to use this. The whole world needs you learning how to do law of attraction and manifestation and abundance properly, the way that works. You know, there's a whole world out there that's struggling. You learn to do this, you start to transform yourself, the whole world transforms with you, and that's a fact. So please go and download it, follow the instructions, and you know, God bless, good luck to you. This is going to be wonderful, and I can't wait to start hearing about the results that you're going to be achieving. And as I've said, you know, quite a few times recently, this is about not learning just how to do abundance, you know, in a step-by-step manner. This is about becoming abundance. You know, this is about you becoming a true abundance expert and learning how to use energy like magic. You start learning how to use these, it's like having a magic wand where you can, you know, you can just put the right energy in the right recipe, as it were, and you can achieve and attract anything that you want. And you know, I stand by that. I stand by my methods, I stand by my results,